now will switch it off for Altu Pepra. Learmon, Villalobos. Back for Sorinellos. As we have a moment here, I just want to comment on how beautiful it is outside today.
I thought you were talking about my shirt, Austin. Thank you anyway. But yeah, it is a beautiful day. You're right.
Well, your shirt's the same color as the sky.
There you
Beautiful
go.
And clear.
There you go.
It's nice that there's actually some cool in the air rather than the typical Florida weather. Bit of pressure here from UCF. Vivi will play it back heel for Dorado. Luca taking into the teeth of the defense, plays it in. Takase is there. Taylor gets on the end of it. Nick Taylor bends it just over top.
Well, Nick Taylor on his weaker right foot had some daylight here. Look at the aggressive play by Dorada. Tasaki gets his behind to it, but look at this, goes back on the right foot. I just whizzed over the last post. Tasaki, I should say. But look at Dorado being aggressive. That's exactly what you want in the last third of the field. And Nick Taylor, just the wrong foot at the wrong time.
Take a look at the crowd, enjoying this beautiful afternoon. A lot of traveling contingent here from Tampa as well. Always nice to see. Schaefer and Dorado battling for the ball. Schaefer will win this one.
Beautifully played by Schaefer. Dorado was all over him. But, like you said, the midfielder with good feet.
Fala, pessoal. Agora a transmissão saiu. Tava dando erro com conexão da ESPN, enfim. A partida já está com 15 minutos. Teve quase agora uma assistência do Luca Dorado, só para dar uma boa noite para todo mundo. Quando for tendo alguma coisa, algum comentário, a gente vem aqui para explicar para vocês. No momento agora, em campo, brasileiros, a gente está com o Anderson, que é de Salvador, número 3 aqui na lateral esquerda, e o Luca Dorado, de São Paulo, número 22. No banco da UCF ainda tem o Lucas Mauro, de São Paulo também, e o Rainer, de Curitiba. No time da USF, South Florida, tem o Henrique, que é o número 4, que jogou na base do São Paulo. São Paulo não, base do Palmeiras, ele é de São Paulo também. Então vamos acompanhar a partida aí, porque, como eu falei, é um clássico da Flórida, University of Central Florida contra South Florida. Tá com 15 minutos, por enquanto eu estava vendo em off, sem poder transmitir ainda, a UCF está pressionando bem mais, daqui a pouco eu trago mais estatísticas. Então, valeu, boa noite aí, boa noite para os familiares do Luca, do Anderson, que eu tinha conversado com eles, eles iam passar aí para todo mundo, então um abraço para Salvador e para São Paulo. Valeu.
So you'll see what Gina Vivi is able to do on this free kick. It's into the box. It's a good ball. Afalabi pops it in the air, and Takase comes out to claim it.
Football 101. You always bring your center forward back to defend set pieces. They're usually one of the best headers of the ball. And Afalabi coming back there and doing his job, taking the pressure off of his defense.
Oh, and Afalabi has gone down on his knee. That is not good to see. And he looks to be okay. He's waving off the trainer.
I think he understands there's nobody on the bench to come on for him. So he's like, I'm just going to walk this one off.
And that's the thing. Bob Buthorn, when I talked to him on Friday, he told his team, he had to meet with the team. It's like, if you're hurt, do not force yourself to play. Okay, it's not worth the risk. I know you want to help the team as much as possible, but if you are physically incapable of playing, take yourself off.
Yeah.
And that's been the story of this season thus far, is at least you have a lot of buy-in from your team. Despite the results not necessarily being there, the players that are currently playing, they want to be out there. They want to help. They want to make sure this team can try and succeed.
And so many freshmen on this roster. You know this team is going to get better and better every year with that attitude.
And it's interesting you mentioned the freshmen as the ball is played back for Adu Pepper. Talking to Bob Buthorn about the way that the NCAA is currently working. As we'll get back to that, it's intercepted here from Rossano. Played back now, Nick Taylor. He looks at a long ball over top. Kazuna Takase is out there to read it and plays that out of play safely. Sweeper keeper action from the USF keeper. He's able to come out and make the play.
Yeah, you have to. Once this USF team is going to press that high, Tasake just read it beautifully. Quick off his line, understood he was the last man back, and it was just well played. Good soccer all around.
Here's Nick Taylor. And going back to that whole conversation about freshmen, Nick Taylor was actually a perfect example. UCF loses Hatabu Berry to graduation, and they replace him with an SMU starter that has come in for his graduate year. And that's the way that kind of the NCAA is moving in. A lot of the, instead of the transfer market for the professionals, it's the transfer portal. Ball is headed up in the air by Schaefer. Sornellis goes down. Caleb Frankie flicks it up to himself.
Beautiful.
Ball back for the Knights.
Yet another player who's a midfielder / winger being converted to a right back. Caleb Frankie showing his foot skills there.
Big switch of the ball here from Learmont, going for Nick Taylor. Popped out of the air and out of play by Pineris Mayorga. But it's interesting talking to different coaches about their recruiting processes, because nowadays, with the transfer portal being the way it is and players can come in and play immediately, if you lose players or if some freshmen aren't just cutting it for you, you can just go to the transfer portal and pick out some really good players to replace them. So the patience for developing players is going to become lesser and lesser over time.
Yeah, and that's going to start going towards schools that are not as competitive. So they're going to be the ones harnessing that sort of talent, while big programs like UCF are going to be having all the major talent comprised on one roster.
Ball is turned over there. Ariel Hadar keeping with it. As we mentioned, Hadar, he's been getting some playing time since Alessandro Campoy has gone down with injury. He is officially available to come back and play today, but he'll have to wear a face mask. So
not only that, Hadar has just taken off since he's come on.
There's Dorado cutting it out wide. Leaves it for Nick Taylor. Back for Rosa now. Switch to the middle. Dearmon. Out wide now, Caleb Frankie. Left-footed cross into the box, and it's right for Takase.
Great idea by Frankie, being aggressive. That was for Luca Dorado to be more aggressive and make that run to the first post, but right back doing everything right there and being inventive in the last third.
Here's Ben Kaplan now with it.
You know what's the scary thing about Luca Dorado?
Over top looking for Afalabi.
It's only his second season, and he's already starting to develop that center forward mindset. I mean, that in that instance there, he didn't have it, but you know it's going to come on as the years progress.
And he's one of those players that the freshman mentality worked out. You know, he came in and he was an immediate starter. He's coming over top, a dangerous tackle, and it's going to be whistled the opposite way as Anderson Rosa was taken out, and now both players are down.
Tough call for Rossano. Rossano challenging for the ball, and Rosa did not challenge for the ball. He used his body as a table. Thought the call should have gone the other way, but Anderson Rosa getting lucky with that call.
Yeah, Rossano landed very awkwardly, trying to brace his fall by putting his arm out, and almost seemed like the arm buckled as he fell down, so something to watch out for. But it seems like Rossano is good to go.
Yeah, Rossano's actually pleading his case right now, saying exactly what we're saying, that Rosa did not even try to go for the ball.
You could also plead the opposite way, that Rosa couldn't jump because Rossano was pushing down on him.
Yep.
At that point, it's up to the referee's discretion. That's why I never question too much of a referee's decision, because I know how hard it can be to try and make those bang-bang calls. Ball switched over top here. Nick Taylor's got some space. He lofts it into the box, and it's cleared away.
So that play all started with Caleb Frankie, again, using that vision and finding Nick Taylor.
Yushion Soga now getting into the middle. Battling with Frankie, and Frankie will commit the foul. Take another look at that play. The good switch over top. You just see the wingers getting so much space for UCF in this game.
Yeah, great delivery by Nick Taylor as well. Just well defended by USF, just holding their markers and being disciplined.
Now it'll be Shion Soga. Put this ball into the box. He'll send all of his numbers forward. Nobody back here for the Bulls right now. Soga, good ball into the box, looking back post, and it's time to play. Looking for Rossano on the back stick, but just couldn't quite get there. So thus far, 5 shots for UCF, none for the Bulls, 4 fouls for USF, and only 1 for UCF. Kind of get an idea of how this game's going based on that. Nick Taylor, low ball into the box, cleared away, corner coming for UCF.
Well, because the wingers are a natural lefty and a natural righty, the center backs are anticipating the cross. Ben Kaplan and Brian Schaefer doing a great job staying close to Luca Dorado and not giving him an inch of room.
It's actually a throw. Couldn't quite see. Takase is there. And Ariel Hadar looking for the cross to Dorado on the ground. Takase plays it now for Kaplan. Takase has a bad giveaway, and just missing is Dorado. Almost an instance of playing it out of the back going wrong.
Well, look, the bad pass, and Luca Dorado anticipates this beautifully. Just tried to toe it past Tasake, but
Hesselmeyer just had a bit of a nightmare.
Zaga
there.
deu
He
mole na
tried to
frente
play
do
it back.
Luca de novo. Ele já
Takase
fez
didn't
gol assim
realize that
contra a
Dorado
Florida
was
Gulf Coast,
charging
né?
in on the
Mas
ball.
dessa vez ele pegou meio mal ali.
what a
Mas é
chance
isso, o UCF
for Dorado.
pressionando, dominando o jogo. E respondendo só o Leonardo, não
If
sei
you're USF,
se
you kind of hope that that's a
vocês
wake-up
viram
call.
aí.
Don't be
Foi o que eu
so
falei no
careless when
início
you're
da
playing it out of the
transmissão.
back.
As duas equipes têm brasileiros, mas em campo agora tá
Because
o
of how
Anderson e o
dangerous
Luca,
that
da
Luca Dorado
UCF.
is, he is just a
E
pest.
no banco
on
de
the ball.
suplentes
And
tem
so
na
quick off
USF
the
o
mark too. I mean,
Henrique
that first
e na
5-10 yards, he was
UCF
on it like
o
a
Lucas
flash.
Mauro e o Rainer. Fechado?
Frankie plays it back for Villalobos. He's able to turn Soga. Now Vivi cutting inside. Leaves it off for Robbie Soronellis, whose parents are in attendance, as they have been most of the season. His father, Frank, used to play here back in the day.
You know, it's amazing how it takes a while for a coach to identify a player's traits. Robbie Soronellis was a box-to-box type player, and I was converted to a defensive midfielder.
All over top here, Ariel Hadar is onside and blasted in. Ariel Hadar, his third goal against South Florida.
Well, Hadar took off against USF in USF a couple of weeks ago, and he continues that form now. What a ball by Yanis Lerman. Just a peach of a ball over the top. Hadar continues his run. Look at his first touch on the mark. And then a beautiful finish with the left stick. Beautiful goal, beautiful finish. UCF 1-0.
What a job by Ariel Hadar. He just continues to take advantage of USF's backline. He scored 2 in Tampa earlier this year and now has his third in 2 games to put UCF up.
The first touch off of his chest took the defender completely out of the play. And then to finish with his weaker foot, just amazing. And what about the ball by Yanis Lerman? Poetry.
The man from Ra'anana in Israel.
Tá lá, 1-0.
Making his
Lançamento
mark
bonito
known
do zagueiro, mas também muito
and taking
bonita a
advantage of his starting
recepção do
position here.
atacante.
Again,
Os
with
narradores
Alessandro
estavam falando,
Campoy
para quem
out,
não
he's
está
been
entendendo
playing as
muito
that
em inglês,
secondary attacking
que esse
midfielder.
mesmo atleta,
Played as a
não
winger
peguei o nome
in the
dele,
last game with Nick
ele
Taylor
fez
out.
2 gols contra a USF
Really
no
been
jogo de ida.
pleading
Para
his
quem não
case for
sabe
more
também,
playing time
eles já
even
jogaram,
when
a
some of these other
UCF
players
ganhou
are
de
healthy.
3-2,
Coach
foram 2
Calabrese
gols dele
senses that
e
he had a
gol
big
do
game
Luca
against
Dourado,
USF a couple of
brasileiro.
weeks ago. Starting
Então,
him tonight.
vamos manter aí a
He knew he'd be playing
escrita,
the
1-0
conference.
And
já.
there's a foul by Afalabi going into Gideon Adu Pepra. And Adu Pepra is slow to get up. He's already currently a backup for UCF's back line.
Well, just looking at the motion, that is not good.
It was Andres Hernandez who went down early in the season. And Adu Pepra has come in through conference play. It's a
Afolabi
bit of
has
an awkward challenge.
Afolabi every right to go for it, but boy, was it a tough challenge, like you said, Austin. Adu Pepra knew right away. Look at him still writhing in pain.
It's Andres Hernandez who went down early in the season. Then it was Owen Gusky who came in and played a little bit before conference play started. And then it was Adu Pepra who came in and has locked down that position ever since. The hope is that Adu Pepra can continue, as he has received some treatment from the UCF training staff. A little bit of a limp, but he looks like he's good to continue. So a good sign for the Knights. Meanwhile, the Bulls are looking to make some substitutions. So it looks like it'll be Enrique Galena who will be set to come in, as well as Andres Frite.
Aí, agora entrou o brasileiro da USF,
Andres
o
Freire.
Henrique Galena, como eu falei, jogou na base do
And one more
Palmeiras,
has joined the
de
fray.
São
It looks
Paulo,
like it'll be
e joga na USF, número 4.
Jorge Guggen Christensen. Adu Pepper is getting ready to come back into the match. So next dead ball, we'll have a number of substitutions here for the Bulls. In fact, we'll actually do those now. So Andres Freire has come in at the top of the 4-3-3, playing as the striker. Vivi has it, taken away immediately. Now back with Laval. All switched out here for Panaris Mayorga. Rossano. Big switch to the opposite side, looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Now counterattack coming for UCF. Gino Vivi, great little turn by Vivi as he continues with possession.
Talk about a handful to stay in front of Gino Vivi, just so shifty.
Vivi now back with the ball. Defenders closing down, overlapping. It's back for Frankie. Frankie plays it through, and it's just a bit too heavy of a touch, looking for Mauricio Villalobos. As we mentioned in the beginning of the program, American basketball getting set to start up in just a few weeks. You can get your season tickets for both the men's and women's basketball teams. Visit your school's websites and follow along on all the action all season long on ESPN+. As we mentioned, UCF basketball out here supporting the soccer team as they're getting ready to start their season. All lofted downfield, popped out of play by Soronellos. Actually stays in play thanks to Gino Vivi. Villalobos plays it back and right out of play. Good bit of pressure coming for the Bulls.
Excellent pressure by USF. I mean, that's exactly what they need right now. And that's why the fresh legs are coming in. We saw Ferreira come in, Afolabi, and that's why to lead this line and this press.
Well, it's Beto Idrach who will come into the game as Gideon Adu Pepra is unable to continue, at least for this first half. He'll get some treatment and hopefully continue on. But Idrach, who is primarily a number 6 defensive midfielder, he'll come in every so often to play as a center back. He did so in the spring of this past season. Now, Luca Dorado is going to take it down the teeth of the defense here. Dorado taking it out wide. Schaefer coming in and winning the ball back.
And you can't get too upset with that. Luca Dorado, remember, he is a winger, and he also has he's a barrel full of skill. So you have to understand he's going to have moments when he wants to take players on. It's just part of his personality and his MO on the field. So nothing wrong with taking some players on.
Slip of the field. USF maintained possession, however, at least for the moment. Kaplan did not keep it in play, so it'll be a UCF throw. All thrown back here to Learmon, being chased now by Freire. Gonna play it down the line is Vivi. Nobody there. Schaefer boosts it downfield, headed down by Soronellos. Back now for JT Cooper.
That was a superb interception by Hesselmeyer. And this USF team, injured or not, have showed up today. So far, only 16 minutes left in this first half, and they've went toe-to-toe with UCF. Great job by the Bulls, despite being hurt.
So it almost seems like USF has switched to more of a conventional 4-4-2, switching between that and the 4-3-3, depending on whether they're in possession or not. So it looks like Rossano as well as Freire have played as the 2 top men, while UCF maintain their form. Playing it through beautifully, Anderson Rosa getting past Rossano. Now chipped over top into the box, headed up in the air by Kaplan. Rossano wins it back for the Bulls. Played downfield. Here's Rossano again.
Good job by the Bulls, staying so disciplined, and now they can counterattack.
Played down the line, Cooper. Ball into the box. Good one. Punched away by Tyler Levine and somehow keeps it away. Tyler Levine, as well as Beto Idrach and Giannis Learmon, managed to keep it out of play.
What a ball by Maza Ferrero. Brings Levine right out. He gets a hand to it, but great follow by Ferrero.
Yeah, Freire just missed on the last chance as Levine kept knocking it off his foot.
Goal kick for the Knights.
So Andres Freire getting into action very early on in his substitute appearance. Now in the midfield by Dorado. It's Cooper now on the far side. Played back for Hesselmeyer. And now for Galena. Galena drives it. Blocked. And coming over top is Mazzaferro. And it will be a foul on USF left back.
Well, Beto Idrach coming right into the game and getting into the mix of things as we see Mazzaferro getting over the back. Easy call for the referee.
Switch now here for Rosa. We'll have Lucas Moro coming in here for the Knights just in a little bit. Idrach plays it through for Hadar. Ariel plays it all the way back. Yermon has to track to get to it. Yanis looking down the field. Plays it through. A little bit of flick on by Vivi is intercepted. Here's Cooper now. A.T. Cooper driving on the defense. And Caleb Frankie commits a foul and sees a free kick coming for USF in a very dangerous spot.
You know, you kind of want that in the last third if you're USF. Being inventive, Cooper taking his man off, now winning a free kick in a dangerous area for this Bulls team. Now tall players like Rossano and company can now get on the back end of this Knights team, who one of their Achilles heels is being susceptible on set pieces.
So it looks like it'll be Galena to put the ball into the box. It's a low one. It's a flicked on. It's in. I believe it's an own goal by UCF.
Well, I'll tell you what, Freya has owned the goal. He's run straight to the corner flag and collecting the celebrations. But we just talked about how susceptible this Knights team is on set pieces, not being aggressive. And he gets the last touch, number 21. And this game is tied up. Great stuff by the Bulls to come all the way back.
It's hard to see from UCF who got that first touch that headed it on towards goal. But Freire was right there to claim it. He got that last little touch to put it past Levine. As you mentioned before, Ryan, set pieces have been a real bugaboo for this team this year. And conceding that free kick in a dangerous position ended up paying dividends for the Bulls, as Lucas Moro has now come in for Nick Taylor. Automatically Moro into the attack and plays himself a little bit.
Well, Lucas Moro is that sort of creative winger who's going to try to take players on. Just can't get a feel for the ball just yet.
Villalobos holding up play. Gets it off from Moro. He'll drive down the line, crosses it into the box, popped in the air. And Ariel Hadar was the last to touch it. He goes down in a bit of a heap, but is back up limping.
Goal kick for the Bulls.
Here's
Taking
that
a look
ball,
at this goal.
ball in from Galena, in swinger. Everyone's committed. Little touch by Caleb Frankie. There was Freya at the end. And this USF team, this Bulls team, has played the perfect away game. They've played tough. They've played disciplined. May not be the most spectacular in the last third, but they get their goal from a set piece. And now this game is tied up at 1.
Popped up in the air by Rossano. And one of the things that USF has going for them is they just have a lot of big bodies that can win those set piece balls. Dorado turns beautifully past Kaplan. He's into the box now. Dorado plays it on the edge, and it's popped over top by Sal Mazzaferro, who comes in with a game-saving challenge.
Like you said, Austin, he tracked all the way back. Look at Dorado. He's off to the races here. No one can keep up with him. But Mazzaferro at the back post. What a stop. Goal-saving tackle.
É, galera, dá pra ver que o Luca, mesmo sendo o 9 ali, o centroavante, ele é muito rápido. Então, quando ele abre pra ponta, abriu o buraco no meio, ele deu assistência ali. Se o cara não corta, o ponta do lado oposto, né? O ponta direito tava fechando. Então, Quase gol. No gol da USF,
Rossano.
eles estavam comentando aqui que a
Trying to get
USF
forward, but
fez
playing
muito
it
gol
back
de
to
bola
their
parada nessa
He'll now
temporada.
switch it off, and it's
Então
intercepted
deve
by
ter sido
Mazzaferro.
algo um pouco
Counterattack on
ensaiado,
for USF.
mas também alguém da
Driving
UCF
forward is Cooper.
desviou para trás,
And
acabou
Cooper has a
matando
heavy
a
touch, and
zaga.
it's
Né?
intercepted now
Mas
by
é isso,
Ariel
1 a
Hadar.
1, seguimos
Ariel
aqui
plays it
acompanhando.
forward.
E
and
entrou
just
o
away
Lucas
from
Mauro,
Luca
também outro
Dorado.
brasileiro, número 23. Ele tá jogando aqui na ponta esquerda, aqui
Staying
embaixo.
with the play is Giannis Learmon, and he may go into the book for that one. A heavy challenge by the UCF center back. And Freire not taking too kindly to that one. So he gets into the face of the Frenchman. That will be a yellow card for UCF starting center back.
One of those instances where Giannis Lehrman's touch let him down. A center back would have been very, very more clinical and cleared that ball away. With those midfielder touches that he has, he tried to control it. The ball got away from him. As a result, he had to put the challenge in. And quite rightly goes into the referee's books.
So now both center backs for both teams sitting on yellow cards. Changes a little bit of the dynamic of the game, for sure. And especially for UCF, because their other starting center back, Gideon Adu-Pepra, is out due to injury.
But that touch there gets away from him, and you can hear the crunch of that tackle all the way down I-4.
Ball is played up and over top. We'll have a throw in. Here's Mayorga. Plays it right out of play off of Galena.
A heavy touch by Galena. Just came into the game only moments ago.
Take a look at this beautiful sky right now that we're playing under. Can't ask for too much better soccer weather.
Absolutely not. The players must be relishing this.
Edrach.
Barely 70 degrees out there.
Also reminds me of how the games were back in February and March when they were playing the spring season. Actually had to wear a jacket in the press box.
Yeah, and you know what? We kind of went on our own little sort of rant, trying to get every game to be played in the spring from there on in.
Now Rossano was arguing with Anderson Rosa about who had the actual ball. Ends up being with UCF and Rossano and knocked out of play by Soranellos. See Paul Souders tracking the bench right now. And the associate head coach for UCF. Opted by Lucas Mora and out of play.
If you're USF, you want to get out of this bubble here and switch that play. Meza Ferrero is waiting on the left-hand side.
And Rossano just pulls down Robbie Soranellos, and it will be a yellow card for Rossano.
But Rossano had a discussion with the referee a little while ago with Anderson Rosa. Now an easy call for the referee as Rossano took out his frustration on that challenge.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not allowed to take a player's ankle into your hands.
Wrong sport.
Again, a little bit of frustration there from UCF, or USF, excuse me. The foul count has actually kind of evened up a little bit more as of late. USF did have the majority of fouls committed in the game, but now it's 6-4 in favor of the Bulls. So 10 fouls in between the two teams. Gianluca Arcangeli will be able to come in here, as well as Alessandro Campoy, who we haven't seen in a number of weeks. As you see the black mask that he is wearing as he just pops into your screen right there. Campoy comes in for Hadar, and Arcangeli comes in for Dorado. And Campoy brings a very different dynamic in the midfield. Very much a controller of the ball, very much a playmaker. Very much missed in this UCF team, especially in the first couple games that he was missing. As he gets right into the action by falling down, trying to win the ball back.
And so does Gianluca Arcangeli. He plays more of a number 10. He's going to drop back and try to support the midfield. But he's a busybody in that front line.
And there's another foul as Galena trips up Lucas Moro. Bit of an awkward challenge. I don't think Galena knew much of it. But either way, he'll go into the book. So Enrique Galena, who has just come into the match a couple minutes ago, has already gotten into the book. So 3 players now for USF on yellow cards.
Well, the rivalry continues between these two teams, getting kind of chippy right now on the field. And Galena trying to plead his case to the referee.
I mentioned Gianluca Arcangeli, and talking to Scott Calabrese, he is more of a number 10, played number 10 back in Brazil as an attacking midfielder. So you'll often see him drop a little bit more into the attacking midfield rather than being that out and out forward, which kind of allows a false nine, if you will, in terms of the way they want to play.
Yeah, it's going to allow the wingers like Gino Vivi and Lucas Moro to come around him when he does get the ball, and they'll turn into 2 forwards while he plays as the attacking midfielder.
Popped up and over top. Underneath it is Freire. One back by Galena. Now Cooper driving through into the teeth of the defense. Sorinellos pulling it back. Mazzaferro has it taken off his foot. Played down here for Vivi. Villalobos back for Gino. Again, good pressure here from Freire. All the way back for Levine. He has to run over top of it. Gets it off now. So Idrach able to drive forward and get a little bit out of danger. Morrow, good soft touchdown on the ball. Now UCF has a chance to counter forward. And Villalobos just losing it right at the end.
Well, tough for the midfield to get any sort of vision because of the USF press, but Gino Vivi was yawning over on the right wing. Any sort of switch, and he'd been off to the races. But credit to the Bulls, though, not giving the Knights any sort of room to make any sort of decision in midfield.
Frankie plays it in. Arcangeli challenged immediately. Gianluca wins it back for the Knights, though. Now Idrach swings it over for Rosa. Morrow. Bit of a fancy pass from Lucas Morrow. Back heel flick to Beto Idrach. If you're a coach and you see those little fancy back heel flicks for no apparent reason, do you get a little bit frustrated? As that ball goes out of play.
No, for someone like Lucas Morrow, I mean, he's that type of player. You have to allow players to express themselves, and he is that sort of personality. So you have to be patient and know that he's getting into the rhythm of his game.
So if anything, what you're saying is when you see those back heel flicks, it's a good sign that he's actually comfortable on the field.
Absolutely. He's kind of getting into his game, and that's how he does it. Almost like a Neymar from Brazil.
His fellow countryman. JT Cooper is driving through the teeth of the defense. Mazzaferro has made the opposite run. It's back here, and Levine can't keep it out. And JT Cooper has scored for the Bulls to put them up 2-1.
Simplicity in itself. Mazzaferro overlapping on the left side. Nobody picking him up. And a simple rolling the ball across the face of the goal. An excellent finish by JT Cooper. Here comes again. Caleb Frankie is now out of position right there. And Mazzaferro plays it right back across into the danger area. And nothing much that Levine can do with that one. Good finish by Cooper. And Caleb Frankie loses his man. As a result, 2-1 Bulls.
Yeah, the first goal coming from a set piece.
Contra-ataque clássico, né? Até o narrador estava falando, comentarista. Foi jogada de treino, de jogar, de escolinha. Dá a bola no fundo, o mesmo cara que deu correu para o meio da área, o volante não acompanhou ele. Então foi jogada clássica de overlapping, que eles chamam lá. É isso, 2-1, mas é aquilo, o UCF está muito mais em cima. Vamos ver. E lembrando também, galera, que em jogos assim, mesmo não sendo mata-mata, se acabar empatado, se fizer o 2-2, tem overtime, 2 tempos de 10 minutos, persistir no empate é pênalti. Mas é isso, o UCF agora vai ter que reverter. Tendência é no segundo tempo a USF sentar lá embaixo, né? Vamos ver.
Knocks it forward. While looking over top, Schaefer is underneath it. He pops it up in the air. Now Mazzaferro just boot it downfield. Underneath it is Cooper, who just scored. And Villalobos is able to win it back for the Knights.
Well, now the game really falls into the Bulls' hands.
Arcangeli now out wide. Vivi into the box and out of play.
Exactly that. Now the Knights are going to press a little bit more. We're talking about emotionally. Every time the player gets the ball now, they're going to try to do a little bit extra. And as a result, missed passes like that are going to happen.
And just a little bit of time left before the teams head to the locker rooms. And Buthorn and Scott Calabrese will address their charges. Sure, as of right now, Calabrese is probably a bit more frustrated than Buthorn is. He's probably thrilled. And the thing with this USF team is the last couple of results that they've had outside of that SMU game have been very positive. Now driving forward, Zornellis winning the ball back, at least for the moment. Popping it over top, here's Alessandro Campoy. He's able to chest it down, pushes it forward, and clearing it out is Ben Kaplan.
Well, Campoy looking like someone who missed a certain amount of time on the sidelines because of injury. Heavy touch again. And good defending by the Bulls to mop it up.
Playing it back now.
Now,
Hesselmeyer.
Look at this Bulls team now. Look at their tails being up in the air. Everybody wants a touch of the ball. There's an extra pep in their step.
Arcangeli has to play it for Villalobos. He gets it out wide. VV picks his head up. Looking for Lucas Mora on the switch. And it's going to be very easily intercepted by Victorio. Played through, intercepted. VV. Played out wide for Villalobos. Mal plays it down the line here. VV battling on that far side with Hesselmeyer. Played through. Here's Caleb Frankie into the box, looking for Lucas Moro. It's going to be intercepted, at least for the moment, by Victorio. And will go out of play. Set piece coming here for UCF with 1:45 left in the first half.
Well, teasing ball by Caleb Frankie. Just couldn't find Lucas Moro at the last post.
And now Moro will be able to put this in as an outswinger on his left foot. Into the box and headed away. A bit too short as Galena was there to knock it away.
Lucas Moro has to clear that first man to have any sort of threat on the corner kick. Wasted effort.
Zornellos has it blocked. Anderson Rosa being held back and still being held as Marcus Victorio was grabbing all over Anderson Rosa, and he's probably a bit frustrated with that.
Yeah, at that point, you want the referee to step in when the ball goes out and then deliver the free kick.
Arcangeli now. VV plays it through. Villalobos, heavy touch, and it's going to go out of play for a goal kick.
Well, excellent 1-2 on the top of the box. But number 14, Arcangeli, took the ball away from Campoy, who was actually going to run in on goal. He didn't know it, obviously. But it just showed how dangerous this Knights team can be when these talented players get in this small bunch in front of the 18-yard area. Excellent touches, great passes.
Kausuna Takase has it intercepted after the clearance downfield. Back here now for Frankie. Under 20 seconds to go, headed up in the air by Pineris Mayorga. Moro.
10, 9, 8.
Plays it through for Arcangeli.
6, 5, 4.
Arcangeli has it taken away. Frankie is there, and that is the half. Well, it's been a very interesting one. Ariel Hadar had started the scoring for UCF. It was going their way, and then back-to-back goals by USF. The most recent one by JT Cooper, putting the Bulls ahead at the half. We'll come back and break it all down for you here on ESPN Plus right after this.
Boa, galera. 2-1, jogaço, como eu tinha falado, pegado. Promete ficar mais quente ainda no segundo tempo. Vou deixar rodando o intervalo, só vou botar no mudo para não ter problema com o direito autoral das músicas que tocam. E quando voltar eu boto o áudio, e quando voltar melhores momentos também eu sempre solto o áudio por aqui, fechado? Vou deixar rodando aí, mas sem o áudio por enquanto.
Athletic Conference Studios. I'm your host, Morgan Uber, here for Top Plays of the Week. I just want to set the record straight. Forget top 6. We could have easily done a top 16 plays of the week with all the great action that we've had lately. Needless to say, the competition was stiff. Let's get right to it. Coming in at number 6, a steal and a strike from South Florida's Sydney Nasello.
Nasello, nice takeaway, out in front, shot, and it's in for South Florida. The brace for Sydney Nasello, and the Bulls are up 2-0.
At number 5 from South Florida and Tampa, up. Speaking of number 4, Tulsa's Alex Minard scores 4 goals in one game, becoming just the 4th player in American men's soccer history to accomplish that feat. And a first for the Golden Hurricane since 1991. Check out his second goal of the night. Memphis defenders everywhere. No problem, though, for Minard. Absolutely filthy. Coming in at number 3, East Carolina quarterback 2, the reigning offensive player. Coming in at number 1, we've got overtime. Carolina Houston waited out a 5-hour plus rain delay. And there were so many great plays from that game, like the forced fumble by the Cougars in overtime to seal it. For all of the full highlights, you can go to the Americans' YouTube or Twitter. We want to hear from you, the fans. If you ever see a top play happen live, let us know. Use the hashtag #AmericanPowerTopPlays on Twitter. You can tweet at me, at Morgan_Uber, or at American_Conf. That wraps up this week's top plays. I'll see you all right back here next week for more top plays around the American.
Tá, galera, só um comentário também, que tudo isso que mostrou agora, futebol americano, futebol feminino, masculino, é tudo universitário, tudo isso é da conferência que a UCF disputa. Então, estrutura, torcida, transmissão, para quem não conhece é até surpreendente, mas tudo isso é universitário, nada era profissional ali.
With Subway open, they changed the fast food game. But sometimes you got to refresh to be fresh.
From SMU, held USF to 2 shots, none in the first half, and a 4-0 win. And the goalkeeper of the week, UCF's own Tyler Levine, first solo shutout of his career against Temple. Unfortunately, tonight, as of right now, he's let in 2 goals. But as of right now, let's take a look at some of the highlights and how we've gotten to this 2-1 scoreline. It was a chip ball over top from Giannis Learmont for Ariel Hadar, who took it down beautifully, struck it on a frozen rope with his left foot, and was able to give UCF the lead back in the 24th minute.
Well, Hadar continuing his form with that Ignite, susceptible on set pieces, and Freire getting on the end of this one. Good finish. He just read the play. He just followed through on it, and then the old sucker punch on a counter attack. Caleb Frankie not picking up his man. Sorry, my mistake.
JT Cooper. Mazzaferro had the cross in.
That's
JT
right.
Cooper had the finish. And that put USF up 2-1 just before the halftime break. If you see the first half stats, fairly even. USF has had more shots on goal, however. And honestly, after the first 20 minutes or so, USF really kind of came into the game. Their press started working a lot more, and UCF really stopped getting any chances. That one shot on goal was that one goal that they had. Outside of that, they haven't really had any really clear-cut chances since then.
Well, I have to give the Bulls backline some credit. They really tracked their markers. As much as Gino Vivi and Nick Taylor got behind the backline and put balls across the face of the goal, the back four did a great job in keeping them out. Now, Bulls, their 2 goals came from the perfect away sort of technique. Set piece on a counter attack. They've played tough, they've played disciplined, and they've caught the Knights off balance. Now, this guy Mauricio Villalobos, he does all the dirty work in the midfield, but he has to start linking up more with Gino Vivi on that right-hand side. Play a sort of a 2-man game on the right-hand side, if you will, to create some chances and get some balls into Luca Dorado to try and get an equalizer tonight.
Well, here come the Bulls of USF as they will look to continue their good works in this second 45 minutes. And a win here would propel them above Memphis, potentially. So, very big one for them as they look to try and get into the top 4 of the conference, make the conference tournament. Take a look at some of the standings right now. UCF currently leading, but Tulsa, they're good. They're very good. And as long as UCF continues to win, they will maintain that potential of hosting the conference tournament. But Tulsa, they have a very favorable schedule ahead of them, and they also host UCF in the final game of the season.
Yeah, like you said, if the Knights win out, they will host. So in the next 45 minutes, the Knights have to continue what was bringing them success in that first half, going out wide to Nick Taylor and Gino Vivi, and allowing Mauricio Villalobos and company to come in through the middle channels like Hadar, and that will create opportunities for Luca Dorado in the...
Então é isso, galera. Vai começar o segundo tempo. Vocês viram a tabela. Para quem não entende inglês também, eles estavam explicando que classificam 4 equipes e aí o USF, South Florida, está ficando fora. Então, essa vitória é muito importante para eles terem chance de classificar. A UCF já está em primeiro, mas é o que ele explicou também. Ficar em primeiro da conferência significa que vai decidir o torneio mata-mata em casa. Então, isso é importante também. E Tulsa está logo embaixo. Quando ele estava analisando estatística também, quero fazer uma live amanhã só para falar de estatística, é interessante, porque a posse de bola ficou toda com a UCF, Central Florida, só que eles tiveram só um chute no gol, que foi o gol. Então, realmente está faltando finalizar, criar as chances e finalizar em gol com isso. Então, Luca Dorado deve ser acionado mais nesse segundo tempo, e aí a gente vai seguindo acompanhando. Fechado, vou soltar a transmissão aí, mandar um abraço para todo mundo que continua acompanhando. O jogo vai acabar antes do jogo do Flamengo começar, então podem continuar assistindo que já vocês assistem o Flamengo por aí. Então vamos seguir o jogo.
Back to the back line, Giannis Learman.
Interesting to see Arcangeli still back up on top. No Luca Dorado. So looks like Coach Calabrese is sticking to his rotation.
Campoy also remains in there. However, Nick Taylor, who is on the far side, was just flagged for offside. Well, for Bob Buthorn and his USF Bulls, I'm very happy with the way his team has been playing so far tonight. Said before the game, the team is getting the most out of itself. They just need to learn how to move on and take it step by step, game by game. And, well, they took that 4-0 loss to SMU and have now taken a 2-1 lead here at halftime. You got to say what Buthorn's words are, all the words that he is saying are currently being listened to by his team. So Farrow intercepts it.
You know, sometimes styles make fights, and that game in USF early on this season was very, very close. And this game as well. And this USF team is completely in the face of this Knights team and frustrating them and finding space on the back line by counter-attacking. So the Knights is just not a favorable matchup as of right now for this Knights team.
Campoy chasing it down. The downfield, Sorinellos has it. Now Rosa being challenged by Rossano. All the way back to Tyler Levine in goal now for UCF. Neto Edrach remains in the game. We saw a little bit of Gideon Adu-Pepper trying to warm up on the sideline before the second half, but it looks like Edrach will probably play out the remainder of this game, more for just safety concerns for the health of their starting center back. And again, Idrot is no slouch when it comes to
galera, também lembrar,
playing the game
tinha
here.
mais gente no primeiro tempo,
Not
mas enfim,
necessarily his
lembrar
natural
de
position. I talked to him
curtir a
after the
transmissão para
season
aparecer para
in
mais
the
gente, para
spring
mais gente
about
poder
how he was trying to play
acompanhar
the
os
center back
familiares, enfim, de
And
vocês,
here he'll have to
pode
come up
estar
big
jogando aí o
for the
Anderson,
Knights
o Luca, enfim.
as he gets
E também
passed
inscrever
by
no canal, então clica aqui só para
Galena.
dar uma
Excuse me.
força que já ajuda
A shot is going to
bastante.
be blocked away.
E
Here is Galena at
não,
the
acho
top
que
of the
tá mais
box now.
sem perigo.
As
E
it
o
was Rossano
Henrique
who had
Galena
the effort
voltou como
immediately
titular, foi
before.
ele que fez a jogada ali pela USF. Então só para lembrar, dá
Here's
o like,
Mayorga.
inscreve no canal só para ajudar a gente
Crosses
aí.
the
Valeu.
box, headed up in the air and takes a deflection. It's going to be a corner coming for USF now.
Well, first example of as he cross again out in this bit to Idras, get past way too easy by Rossano. Ball comes back in, but Yanis Lerman gets his foot to it. Important tackle. But as they go back outside again now, they're going to tackle these two center backs in the air and see how they can handle Rossano and company.
Well, we talked about set pieces early. We'll see how Enrique Galena puts it into the box. Comes to the top, takes a deflection, saved by Levine. Great reactions by the UCF keeper to keep out a sure goal that would have put USF in the driver's seat.
Well, it was Freire again, the substitute, coming inside and just staying right up on that last man, getting a good head to it. But what a save by Levine. Another goal-saving save by the goalkeeper.
And that came off the corner kick that came into the box. It was Christensen at the top of the area that got the drive.
Defesaça do goleiro, né? Aquela bola até de treinamento que bota garrafinha no chão, chuta a bola para desviar e testar reflexo. Foi totalmente reflexo essa bola. E aí eu falei que a USF deveria voltar mais recuada, mas está até contrário, está atacando mais do que o primeiro tempo. Mas isso é bom também porque tem espaço para contra-ataque. Então vamos continuar acompanhando.
Anderson Rosa lets that one go out of play, and it'll be a throw. Take another look at that save. Christensen with the drive from distance, flicked on by Freire. And that's great reactions by Levine. So a throw for UCF deep in their own defensive third. Rosa looking for Arcangeli. And it's just moved up a few more feet. Another throw coming for the Knights.
So important for the Knights to get back their rhythm right here. Have some sort of possession. Take their time. Here they go. They're going to start spreading the ball around the field. Talk about getting everyone a touch of the ball now. Get some confidence going. As Caleb Frankie's all the way out on this right-hand side.
Frankie has space closed down quickly by Copper. Now Levine. Rosa getting down the line for Nick Taylor. Taylor having Kaplan chase underneath him. Arcangeli is taken down in the box, and they're going to wave nothing to it. And a goal kick coming for USF. Arcangeli is pleading his case a little bit.
But the Knights are almost switching to a 4-2-4 here as Nick Taylor brings this ball in. Arcangeli, the tackle came in, but good no call by the referee. It was Schaefer coming across to cover Taylor, to cover Arcangeli, actually. The Knights definitely being a lot more aggressive with their 4-2-4 formation right now.
Yeah, it almost looked like the ball kind of knocked Arcangeli in the face as he was going to play for it. So Arcangeli takes it down. Campoy unable to get to it. Back with Kaplan now. Kazuna Takase. Back for Kaplan. Here's Schaefer. He'll get a little bit of room to move. Plays in for Galena. The Pharaoh pops it up and keeps it in play. Awkward ball now. Here is Freire battling with Learmon, and Freire will commit the foul. Quickly restarted by Learmon. Rosa plays it down the line for Nick Taylor. Taylor, pass one. Arcangeli is going to get on top of it and has it knocked out of play.
But look at the rotation by the Bulls. Even though Nick Taylor got past his man, they were back in a flash to close down the space.
Taylor back with it. Taylor goes down. Goal kick coming.
Well, the Bulls being physical, and it's right now paying off against this Knights team. Bumping them off the ball, not giving them any sort of rhythm. Even if they get past one, they're going to feel the body of another.
One thing USF did in the meeting the last two teams had in Tampa was they bunkered and countered. Of course, that was a different formation, different personnel. The fact remains that it's been working here for the Bulls so far this evening. The pressure has come on incredibly well for this USF side. Rossano drives one from distance, and it's not too far off. But Levine watches it go safely over top his own goal. Take another quick look as Oscar Rossano has actually been very big in terms of the offensive third for this team.
Yeah, they missed him in the game at UCF early on this season, but now he's back and really impacting the game.
Etrach now with it. Down the line. Looking for Campoy. Alessandro loads up a cross into the box looking for Arcangeli. It's taken down by Schaefer and booted up and out of play.
A tricky ball for Schaefer to play. Good early ball by Campoy, but the center back did a great job just keeping his body behind the ball and snuffing it out.
One thing that UCF have had, every time that there's been a throw in their own offensive third, they've had to play it out back because of just how compact this USF team is defensively. Got a really good job of just being able to hold up pressure, as now UCF have broken it. Vivi cuts it back onto his left, now back on his right, cutting it back post, and it's going to fall for Nick Taylor on the opposite side now. Taylor plays it back. Rosa into the box. Schaefer heads away.
Great job by the Bulls, allowing the Knights that room outside and daring them to beat them in the air. Players like Arcangeli and company are not going to beat those center backs. Not much of an aerial threat.
Freire has really been a problem up top for this UCF defense. Anytime they try and play it out of the back, he is there. He is waiting to pounce. Good job as well, just running off the shoulder of some of these defenders and getting to some good spaces. Again, when you're coming off the bench, you really want to be able to prove yourself to your coach. And to this point, Freire has done better than Afalabi.
Oh, absolutely. He has come into this game and been a thorn in the side of the center backs.
Villalobos wins it back for UCF. Vivi chips it through. Here's Alessandro Campoy, just wide. Takase had that near post covered, but Campoy puts it wide nonetheless.
Look at the vision by Gino Vivi, but the ball was just a little bit too hesitant. Campoy had to hold up his run, but great pass and almost
Que
a great
passe
finish
ele
by
do cara,
Campoy.
né? Mas eu achei que ainda
Was
se
an
ele
awkward
conseguisse
finish to
dominar
try
com a
and take
direita,
that
puxando
in
para a
the air,
esquerda para
one time it into the
finalizar,
back of the net.
Yeah,
talvez fosse melhor, mas
especially
finalizou
the
bem
ball sort of
também.
held up and he
E
had to
uma
check
coisa
his
que
run.
a UCF veio diferente foi
Again,
realmente
for USF,
tirando
the pressure
o
that they've
Luca,
been
não sei
putting
se
on
ele sentiu alguma
UCF's
coisa no
front
intervalo,
forwards,
em que isso não é tão
you
normal,
almost think that
ou ele quis
once you get
deixar
the ball,
esse
you have to get
início
rid of it
que
because
fica
you know a
mais
defender is coming, and with that
disputado para o
mentality,
Luca
it really
descansar,
plays
para ele
into
entrar
USF's
descansado
advantage.
quando a defesa da USF cansar, que no final do primeiro tempo eles tinham
You could
cansado um
say
pouco.
that
Pode
if
ser
Campoy
também.
takes a touch
Para
there,
quem não
he may have
sabe,
had an
regra
opportunity
de
to settle it
college,
and put it in the
o
back of the
atleta que
net.
sai, ele pode voltar, não é
Here's
bagunça
another
que
chance
você
for
pode sair e
UCF.
entrar toda hora,
Play
enfim, tem
through. Here's
regras,
Gino Vivi.
mas o
Vivi,
Luca pode
one on
voltar,
three.
mesmo
It's
tendo
played back
saído
now.
já. E a
Vivi,
UCF
4,
segue
5
pressionando.
defenders now on him. He still manages to stay with it. Vivi taken down, and it's a free kick coming for the Knights. What an individual
Então,
effort
só
by
para
Gino Vivi.
deixar
It was
tranquila
brilliant
aí a
effort by
família do
Vivi, but what
Luca,
about
que ele
USF
saiu,
Bulls getting
o
back
Lucas
into
Mauro
position to
também
snuff it out?
saiu,
Like he was
eles
in on
podem
goal. Look
voltar
at the green
ainda,
shirts come around him.
não quer dizer que
3,
acabou a
4
partida para
green
eles
shirts
não.
now on him. 5, 6 green shirts. Great defending, desperate defending, and they're playing for their coach. Good stuff by the Bulls.
And that was Sal Mazzaferro, again, former center back turned left back. He's still got that innate sense of getting back and really shielding up top. Really
E na
plays into the
temporada
defensive
passada
play
teve gol de
of
falta do
USF very
Anderson,
well, but
vamos ver se
now
ele vai repetir.
we will see who takes it for UCF. Could it be Gino Vivi? Could it be Anderson Rosa? We've seen Rosa score from this point
I would
before.
want the left foot on this end, but I think Gino Vivi is going to win the battle here. Yep.
And it's Vivi just over top.
Tinha
I
que ter
think
deixado pro Anderson.
seniority
O
won out
narrador ainda
there,
falou
but
que foi
Anderson
exatamente
Rosa,
desse
the
lugar
left footer would have
que na
favored the
temporada
angle, but
passada ele
Gino
fez
Vivi
gol
tried
de
to get up
falta,
and
mas
over.
o Gino
Just
Vivi,
couldn't get
acho
it
que é
to dip quick
italiano,
enough.
não deixou ele bater.
It had the dip. It just did not dip as he wanted. A good opportunity for the Knights goes awry. And still only one shot on goal for UCF thus far in this game. Vivi is taken down. Kaplan back with it for the Bulls. Hesselmeyer plays it back for Kaplan. And 3 players for USF currently sitting on yellow cards. See if that comes into play a little bit later in the game. Here's Galena, one of those 3. He picks his head up. Vivi is intercepting it. Pressure coming here for the Bulls. And UCF able to play out of it.
Now, the Knights have some numbers and some space here if they could just find it.
Here's Vivi. Picks his head up, switches it to the opposite side. Nick Taylor's waiting on it. Taylor into the box. Taylor gets out wide. Taylor goes for goal. It's blocked by Takase. As Soranellos goes into a challenge, and he is hurting after taking the ball away from Galena, at least for the moment.
Tough call for the referee here.
And Soranellos, very slow to get up, but he is back on his feet. Galena still down.
Interesting to see what the referee calls here. May call it in favor of USF, we should see.
I think it is UCF foul. I think it's a foul on Soranellos, or at least he just stopped play. Maybe a drop ball situation here. Taking a look at this chance from Taylor.
Big switch from Gino Vivi to Nick Taylor. Taking his man on, being aggressive. Good shot, good save by Tasaki. Looks like he got all ball, but looks like the referee's trying to make sure the players were okay.
So it was USF ball before the whistle was blown. It's a USF free kick. Villalobos driving forward, trying to play it as it's off Copper. And we'll have our substitutions as Luca Dorado and Ariel Hadar will come back in, and Alessandro Campoy and Gianluca Arcangeli will come off.
Well, good to see Campoy coming back and getting some playing minutes, but have to see Hadar, 3 goals so far against USF this season. He's going to be confident and ready to get back on the score sheet again in the second half. So
tá voltando para campo o Luca Dorado, e também só para avisar quem não estava aqui ainda, aperta no like que ajuda muito o canal para aparecer para mais gente, então seus parentes, família do Luca, do Anderson, para eles serem vistos por mais pessoas também, e ajuda bastante a gente. Então lembre de clicar no like para se inscrever, tudo isso porque realmente faz uma diferença. Olha o Dorado! Trave do Luca. Quase que eu dei uma sorte.
The Knights were in on goal. It was waiting for to be tied. And Dorado, his first touch after coming off the bench, clangs it off the side of the post.
Well, exactly what the doctor ordered for the Knights. Quick play in the last third. Great ball by Vivi. Luca Dorado just could not convert the chance.
So close from the Knights. And just seconds after Dorado came back in. Meanwhile, on the other end, Rossano is there, heads it up in the air. And the Knights will look to counter the opposite way. Here is Luca Dorado. He'll hold up play. He switches. Ariel Hadar is offside.
Well, the Knights finally unlock this defense. They get right behind it. Great ball by Vivi. Dorado using his left foot to try to open up his body and get it to the last post, but just couldn't finish with his weaker foot.
American volleyball action this Sunday at the venue, 1 p.m. UCF volleyball led by our offensive player of the week, McKenna Melville, will host Wichita State. Catch all the action here in person or on ESPN+. Again, Luca Dorado putting on some pressure. Comes off the head of Copper, I believe, and it'll be a UCF throw.
I have to say, in the last 10 minutes, it's been all night. This Bulls team has to be aware that they're up against it now. Just trying to hold on to this 2-1 lead.
Taylor now drives it forward. Villalobos is going to try and get underneath it. And battling with Afolabi, and Afolabi commits the foul. Anderson Rosa just staying with the play. Here's Frankie. Played back here for Learmon. Now Edrach. Knights looking to build here. Anderson Rosa has gotten into a bit of attacking space now. Ariel Hadar cutting it back on his right foot. Puts the ball into the box, and it's blasted away by Mazzaferro.
E para quem não sabe, o Luca tá com 11 gols na temporada, ele é o 8º artilheiro do país inteiro, então realmente ele é muito perigoso ali dentro da área. Ele optou por chapar ali de esquerda, deixar a bola passar um pouco, tirou certo do goleiro, mas deu azar da bola tocar na trave. Mas agora, perigo de gol, foi ele de novo. Vai ficar nisso até o final do jogo.
Bodies falling all around the goalkeeper.
There's the corner kick, and look how physical this Bulls team is. They get right up on the Knights players, not allowing them to get any sort of power on the header.
Asuna Takase commanding his box thus far, keeping his team in it. Schaefer pops it up and out of play. And Schaefer takes down Dorado after the play is over. We'll have to see a replay on that one. Looked to be a very awkward challenge, and Schaefer's going to go into the book, excuse me.
Looks like it was an off-the-ball incident here. Schaefer may have caught Dorado with a forearm or an elbow. Here they tangle. Ball goes out of play there, and then Schaefer just kicks out at Dorado. Right in front of the linesman. But, you know, good call by the referee, yellow card. I think it was a red card sort of challenge.
No, just a little trip.
Even though it was cynical.
Richard Laval is getting ready to come back in for the Bulls as well.
O zagueiro tomou esse amarelo por agressão, e só para aproveitar que eu postei hoje no Instagram, ou a NCAA D1 depende muito de faculdade para faculdade, se tem a tecnologia ou não, mas algumas faculdades da Divisão 1 eles já estão com uma espécie de VAR, que é a TV, enfim, do lado do campo, não sei se a UCF tem. E o VAR ele pode ver tanto questões de pênalti, enfim, aquela coisa normal, como ações de, enfim, cartão vermelho, algo assim. Esse lance daí, realmente, os narradores estavam falando, o amarelo ficou bom, porque foi uma agressão leve, entre aspas, né? Deu um chutinho ali pra catimbar, então o amarelo foi de bom tamanho.
Why not take those kind of shots? You're up 2-1. Again, like you said, nothing to lose, everything to gain. The 2-goal lead seems like it would be very hard to break through if you're UCF. And at the same time, here's Ariel Hadar. Win back by the Knights. Hadar plays it through, and it's just a bit too light on the pass. Knocked out of play. Rossano had the last touch off of it. It was knocked out of play by a UCF player on the far side.
So despite the good sequence by the Knights, they really have to be careful defensively and not allow this Bulls team to get that third convincing goal.
So it will be Richard Laval coming back into the match. And coming out will be Christensen. So pretty much a full 11 now for the Bulls as they started. All except for Enrique Galena, who remains into the match. Shion Soga still remains on the bench. You got to say Galena has really been a difference maker for this team in the attacking midfield.
Yeah, just so decisive at that attacking midfield spot. Knows when to go forward, knows when to shoot.
Nirman steps through, trying to find Villalobos, and Mao wins it back for the Knights. Driving forward now, cutting back is Gino Vivi, sending players the wrong way. He looks back post, and Nick Taylor's unable to get there. Not sure if that was a cross or a shot.
I think it was a little bit of both, just going towards the last post. Mazzaferro getting his pocket picked, and Gino Vivi is off to the races, just trying to find some room here, and he does right there. Tries to just play it at the back post, looking for Nick Taylor and company.
It's a good idea. It seemed like Vivi and Villalobos were just kind of getting in each other's way for a moment.
Yeah.
And with the creativity of Vivi and how he's played,
you almost just want to get out of his way, you know?
Yeah, that's a challenge by Copper coming in through the back of Caleb Frankie, quickly taken by UCF. Here is Levine. Now Edrach. Beto will switch it to the opposite side. Get it to the playmaker, Giannis Learmont in the back. Back for Beto. Beto has played a number of positions throughout his UCF tenure. He's played as a 10. He's played as a defensive midfielder. He's played as a center back. He's gotten the ball up here for Luca Dorado. He'll drive from just top of the box, claiming for a handball, nothing given. Bit of a bang-bang play. Hard to tell if anything was hit in the moment. Remains for UCF's ball.
That's what Luca Dorado can give you. Not only running off the ball, but on the ball, he can create a shot for himself.
Chipped over top for Villalobos, the captain. Plays it back. He's tripped up. Nothing called. And it's cleared downfield. Now, I believe it took a deflection off of a UCF player as Mazzaferro cleared it downfield. Well, UCF has gotten more shots on target now throughout the second half. Just 2 more. Unfortunately for them, it has not resulted in a game-tying goal as they still trail 2-1. All 3 goals coming in that first half. As Afalabi wins the ball and wins the foul.
Beautiful use of the body by Afolabi, just feeling for his man, turning on him. Has all the space in the world to work with. Here it is again. Just turning on Giannis Learmont.
And Giannis Learmont's in a yellow. Got to be very careful. Going down a man for UCF would spell disaster for them. And all things considered, that's your other center back. Not only that you're losing if he goes out for this game, but Adu Pepper may not be ready for the next game, which means you're starting 2 non-normal center backs against SMU. Got to be very careful if you're Giannis Learmont. Afalabi chasing it down, and Edrach just has to play it out of play as Afalabi was closing in quickly. Hasselmeyer. Laval switches it out now for Mazzaferro. He drives into the middle. Laval back with it. Chips it over top, looking for Afalabi. It's going to be taken down by Giannis Learmont. Now Villalobos. Space closed down quickly. Learmont was right there to keep it with UCF.
And that is the hustle that this Bulls team has brought into the Knights territory tonight. Right on their backs as soon as the ball gets into the halfway line.
Cut back for Villalobos dangerously as Enrique Galena was right there for it. Good counterattack here for USF. It's Copper now. Overlapping run of Mazzaferro, and he'll find him. Sal Mazzaferro now got some space and time to cross it into the box, and Learmont is right there to beat it.
A great read by Giannis Learmont. It was so important because he had Galena right behind him trying to finish. We talked about this Knights team still trying to get back into the game, but defensively, they still have to be disciplined because if they go down 3-1, it's lights out.
It's a matter of trying to figure out how much you want to start pushing numbers forward and how much you want to just keep back. Learmont has that foot speed to be able to track back and contain, but at the same time, UCF has had some problems trying to get forward as USF's press in the back has been very, very good. Their spacing, their man marking, and all of it has really troubled UCF. Edrach switching. Shion Soga is getting ready to come back into the game for your Bulls in a moment. In the meantime, it's switched over top. It's offside by Nick Taylor.
Now, the idea was fantastic by Giannis Learmont. Just the delivery was wrong. It's the switch of play is going to find that room on the outside that's going to allow the cross to get behind the defense.
Goal kick for the Bulls.
Well, it'll be Donovan Hesselmeyer who will come out. Shion Soga will come in, which means Galena will remain into the game. And you got to say that's probably good for the Bulls, having him stay in and be the maestro in the midfield.
Absolutely. Sioga usually plays that attacking midfield role. Let's see where Galena plays now that Sioga has come in.
Ball is headed down. VV switches it out wide. Caleb Frankie now. Learmont Midrash passes it for Rosa. He points downfield, sending Ariel Hadar. The header on is perfect for Hadar. Hadar into the box. Hadar tries the shot. Is going to fall here. And unfortunately, Gino Vivi was not able to get to it as Kazu Natakase was there. Good positive play from Ariel Hadar, though.
Well, we talked about the press by the Bulls, but the spaces behind that, and Hadar found that space. Just couldn't get the pass off. Good recovery by the Bulls. But as they push up and try to get on Villalobos' back, Ariel Hadar may find some room in that last third of the field.
Here's Shion Soga now. Good turn from the midfielder from Japan, now out wide. Drive from distance. What a goal! A spectacular finish from Oscar Rossano. And USF has taken a commanding lead.
Wow. What a strike by Rossano. Didn't ask for permission. Just cut inside on that left foot. Look at this angle here. Beautiful angle. Look at this ball bend into the last post. No chance for Levine. And that's how you play with confidence. They've been up 2-1 for a long period of time. Rossano just got a little bit of daylight. And look at the celebration. And boy, does this Bulls team deserve it. They've played fantastic now for the better half of 60 minutes.
Well, the last time UCF played USF here at home in the spring season, USF took down UCF 2-1 back in February 20th. Now USF, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, lead the top-ranked team in the conference 3-1 with just under 20 minutes to go.
And they just simplified the game. They all held their markers. They played physical. They beat them on a set piece, which made UCF a little bit desperate, and then caught them on a counterattack, and then just a spectacular goal to make it 3-1.
It all started from Shion Soga, the attacking midfielder who got that ball out wide to Rossano. And now with them up 2 goals, you got to think that it's going to be a bit even more so than they have been defending counter. Since the fans who have traveled from Tampa here to Central Florida are probably very happy they made this 2.5-hour drive.
Talk about a reward. Oh.
Great little play here. Anderson Rosa into the box, and it falls perfectly for the USF defense to clear. Excellent little 1-2 with Hadar and Rosa as it unlocked the fullback into the attacking third.
But Brian Schaefer yet again gets his foot on it.
Little dummy run here from Rosa. Bit more urgency here from the Knights. Nick Taylor into the box, and again, USF's defense is right there for it.
Well, if it's not Schaefer, it's Kaplan. And the 2 center backs have just been like rocks at the back, just snuffing out any cross by the Knights.
And the thing is, they don't try and play it too cute. The ball is into the box, headed down by Learmon. It's up in the air by Takase. He punches it down and cleared away by Copper.
Takase finally got a hand to it. We talk about desperate times for the Bulls.
And here's Vivi. He sends Mazzaferro, but Mazzaferro gets a touch on it and breaks it up just enough for UCF to have to retreat. So here's Anderson Rosa now, driving forward. Gets it out wide. Nick Taylor's got some space to cross. He does so into the box, and it's knocked away by Kaplan. Into the box still. UCF has scored and pulled one back. It's Mauricio Villalobos. And we've got a game again, folks. UCF cut it to 1.
Well, the captain is leading the charge. What a play by Villalobos. Another dangerous ball in by Nick Taylor, and yet another ball getting his foot to it. But look at Nick Taylor. He fakes here, takes his time and finishes it. Great composure. And boy, do we have a game here with 16 minutes to go.
É, galera, 2 golaços. Tava esperando algum tempo para falar do gol da USF, não parou, quase foi o gol lá. Jogo lá e cá. E bola 1 também do Anderson lá na ponta, né? Ele tá jogando um pouco mais pro meio, mas, cara, muito legal ver o controle de bola do Anderson. Muita técnica, abriu na ponta, cruzou e o cara também teve muita calma na jogada dentro da área. Jogo aberto ainda, 15 minutos ali faltando. Lembrando que esse placar que tá em cima ele é regressivo, o tempo vai descendo. E quando chega no 0 acaba. Se empatar é aquilo, a gente tem 2 tempos de 10 minutos de overtime. Então agora a UCF vai toda para frente. tentando pegar, e tá o mesmo placar do jogo de ida. O jogo de ida foi na casa da South Florida e a UCF ganhou de 3-2. Agora tá na casa da Central Florida e a USF tá ganhando 3-2. Então vamos ver como que vai ficar, mas o jogo vai pegar fogo agora.
As Gino Vivi getting on Mazzaferro, and he blasts it well over top. And the reason I mentioned the last game, it finished 3-2 in favor of UCF. But the way the game went is Ariel Hadar scored 2 goals. And then Oscar Rossano scored 1 back. Then it would be 3-1 after Luca Dorado gets in behind the defense. And very late
Ele tá
in the
contando
game,
justamente da história
USF
do
would
jogo
score
passado.
Victor
E
Claudel,
só lembrar
who's
agora
also
também
not
que entrou
playing
mais
in this
gente, tá
game
com
tonight.
36. Quem chegou depois, enfim, que não
That's how
tava
it
na
would
hora,
finish. UCF
lembra de
would
dar o
have
like
a
aqui na
3-1
transmissão, porque
lead.
ajuda bastante a
It would be
gente
cut
pegar
down
esses
to 3-2,
conteúdos,
which is
enfim,
where we are.
pegar
Just a
jeitos
complete
de
opposite
transmitir o jogo pra você. Dando tudo pra vocês.
Yeah.
Dando tudo certo
Well,
sexta, vou tentar
That's
fazer
why
a
they call it a
transmissão de
rivalry. These things
Pittsburgh
play out
contra
with such
Virginia Tech.
intensity and such
Vamos
close
ver se eu vou
margins
conseguir.
because there's so much emotion involved. And we're hearing the Knights fans beating on their seats, on the bleachers, starting to make a lot of noise now.
Well, in the meantime, we had Sergio Pineros Mallorca, who has had to come off. So, in his stead, Felipe Baptista has come in. And it doesn't look like Pineros Mallorca will be able to continue. That's another tough loss for USF. So, as of right now, Baptista will be playing as the fullback on the right side.
Well, he's had a great game, Mallorca. Had a goal-saving tackle against Nick Taylor in the first half.
All popped up and out. First little touch for Baptiste. Now into the box here, a chance. Cleared away by Ben Kaplan.
Well, Anderson Rosa doing Brazilian things on that left-hand side. The appeal for a handball. And good no call by the referee.
Another player has gone down here for USF.
There's Rosa again, playing the 1-2. Beats his man comfortably. Pass it up. There's a hand there, but you have to say the ball played the hand. So Galena, quite rightly, was not
E tá
called
aí,
for a penalty.
a caneta garantida do Anderson, que todo jogo tem que ter uma, ele fez ali. Jogadaça também. A gente sempre dá uma repostada nessa caneta, essa daí com certeza vai pro story da Team Brazucas. E é isso, pressão agora final, o Anderson vai jogar espetado ali na ponta esquerda. Vamos ver como que vai ficar.
Taken down is Nick Taylor, nothing given. It's going to be a corner at the very least for the Knights.
Wow. This game has a mind of its own now. No more patterns, no more rhythms. This is just desperation from both sides.
Desperation defending from the Bulls. Desperation offense from the Knights. As Nick Taylor puts it into the box, it's popped up in the air. Dorado has taken it down at the edge. Luca waiting for options. He'll cut down to the end line, and it's going to be another corner. Calling for a throw. It looked like it may have hit another hand, but again, same situation. Hand on the ball, not necessarily ball playing the hand, or hand playing the ball. Another throw coming for UCF.
Great tackle by Afolabi. Forward getting all the way back and making a lunging tackle on DV.
Scornelis has it played back. Here's Frankie now.
E a criançada tá empolgada aí, gritando UCF. Já tem uns...
It's a good one for Gino Vivi. He's in the area. It's popped up in the air. It's loose. And there off the post is Ariel Hadar. Continuing on. Here's Gino Vivi at the back, and it's going to be offside.
Mas é isso, criançada tá gritando UCF aí já tem uns 10 minutos. Tá parecendo torcida do Corinthians. Mas é, quase não vi quem foi, acho que foi o número 12, Maurício, alguma coisa.
Only 10, 15 minutes ago.
E aí, segunda bola na trave também da UCF. Tem que destacar esse ponto. Poderia estar ali pelo menos empatado, já teve a bola do Luca na mesma trave, né? A trave esquerda ali. E agora essa segunda bola na trave.
To Kazuna Takase.
And we had Nick Taylor hitting the crossbar as well in the first half.
And within seconds of the beginning of the game. Flicked on by Rossano, taken down by Copper. Out of play, USF throw. And we'll finally have that substitution as Marcus Victorio has been waiting for quite a while.
For the Bulls, number 10, Marcus Victorio.
So Victorio has come in and Afolabi has come out. So maybe a bit more flexibility defensively with Victorio in.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who they push forward as a center forward.
You take a look at UCF SMU. Laval, the skill set of a midfielder and the size of a center back. And unfortunately, not the accuracy of a midfielder as that one goes out of play. No, to be fair to him, he has been very good with his passing accuracy most of the night. Edrach now plays it off for Anderson Rosa. Pressure coming. Ball is knocked out. Last touch off of Victorio.
You know, you don't, in soccer, there is 11 players on the field, but there comes a time when Gino Vivi needs to touch the ball every time in an offensive sequence. He's just that good and he creates that much havoc. No doubt the Knights are coming right down to him.
There is Vivi. He's driving into the midfield. Gino Vivi battling against Mazzaferro, and it's going to be popped up in the air. Lirman is there, and he will give it away. Here's Copper. Popped up, and Villalobos will win it back.
Knights are winning every second chance opportunity as the ball pops free. And there's no wonder why they're back in the game and momentum on their side.
Oh, great threaded through ball looking for Nick Taylor. Just intercepted. Shion Soga plays it out wide. As Rossano has taken up that number 11 spot up front. Driving forward is Galena. He's looking for Copper on the opposite side, and it's going to go out of play.
You almost want Galena in that instance to not take the counterattack, almost hold some possession, make the Knights chase them to get the ball back.
Edrach now. We're under 10 minutes to go. UCF still trailing 3-2. And we're going to have a foul, a stoppage in play. Possibly a yellow card it is. And it's shown for Felipe Baptista on the far side, I believe. It's either Felipe Baptista or Marcus Victoria. I couldn't quite tell from where we are.
Coach Calabrese really starting to think of a plan B here, if there is any.
Driving forward, taken down is Giannis Lirman. And that one will be booted right back out, right to the UCF bench. Stays in play, however. Played through, and Rossano loses it. Lirman driving forward and intercepts, but it's going to be a foul committed by Rossano. And they'll have another stoppage in the clock. The referee making sure that UCF get as much time as possible.
Well, we talk about Schaefer being that midfield at center-back position. Giannis Lirman just, again, has all those tools, holding two players off and winning the free kick in a vital position for the Knights.
Here is Lirman, who is an imperative in the UCF build-up into the attack. All the way back to Levine. Declogs some of that back line from USF. Here's Hadar. Back for Lirman. Soranellos now back for Giannis.
Good to see Gino Vivi coming into the middle of the park now, getting away from that right-hand side.
Soranellos plays it here. It's Gino Vivi! Skies it. All the way to the parking garage. Just got right underneath that one.
Well, he rushed it, Gino Vivi. The ball is played into his feet here. He sees some daylight, gets the shot off, or just rushed the shot and skied it, like you said, Austin, into parking lot Z.
Well, if he was in the Nicholson Fieldhouse, he may have scored a field goal. Hadar has won it back for the Knights. Switched out wide now. Caleb Frankie has got some space to move. He'll look over top. trying to find Luca Dorado, and Schaefer goes down in a heap, but wins the ball back and knocks it out of play. A stoppage in time, and Schaefer has started to cramp. So the clock has at least stopped while Schaefer is getting some treatment on his cramp.
Have to say, he's earned every bit of this rest, Schaefer. He's covered every bit of grass on this field, from corner kicks to defensive stops. And no surprise that he has cramp. He has a cramp. Just an amazing shift by the defensive midfielder slash center back.
Schaefer and Kaplan have done incredibly. Mazzaferro has done well.
Galera, também para quem não acompanha tanto college, isso aí que ele tá no chão, enfim, não sei se é cera ou não. Quando tá no final do jogo, o juiz pode parar o relógio, tanto que ele parou ali, ó, tá em 7:24, o relógio tá parado, então ele pode ficar aí no chão o tempo que for, que só vai dar uma esfriada no jogo, mas tempo ele não consegue ganhar com essa cera.
Or could that be Sergio Pineras Mayorga just having switched jerseys with Scargill? Ball is thrown in here is Dorado. He's going to turn. Dorado gets it back on his right foot. It takes a deflection. Hadar goes for the bike, and it's offside anyway, or at least a goal kick.
Well, credit to Dorado for making room for himself there. He goes to his left foot. He has Nick Taylor screaming to the ball in the left-hand side, but he's on top of the box, and he has every right to go for a shot there at that angle. But again, enough green shirts to protect that goal.
Takase has booted it down into the night sky. Much cooler evening here in Central Florida than it was when we started the game. Sky is completely dark now. No stars in the sky even. Here's Learmon. Has some space to move. Looks for the chip over top. Hadar just falls down. He was trying to backtrack. Kept in well by Oscar Rossano. Now driven downfield. Tyler Levine is there, and he'll just pop it up in the air. Flicked on by Giannis Learmon. And keeping with it is UCF.
Wow. Amazing recovery by the Knights. Levine just playing a great sort of center-back role right now, the goalkeeper. And Giannis Learmon has not had a bad touch for the entire game.
Well, Ariel Hadar will come out. Gianluca Arcangeli will come in. At this point, you just got to go for it. So if you're the Knights, you need a goal in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, we talked about that 4-2-4 formation they've been playing for the last 30 minutes. Arcangeli's going to go right up near Luca Dorado and stay close to him.
5 minutes to go. Can UCF find an equalizer to make it 3-3? It's a great little play from Nick Taylor. He finds Anderson Rosa into the box. Arcangeli! Seconds after coming into the game, he has tied it for the Knights.
Well, the Brazilian connection does it. Rosa on the left side, Arcangeli in the middle. Look at this, the 1-2, 1-2. And here comes Anderson Rosa. Look at this fellow Brazilian, and look at the little chip. And what a finish by Arcangeli, the number 14. His first touch of the ball coming back on the field.
Que assistência do Anderson, que eu falei, ele ia jogar mais espetado, ele é um lateral totalmente ofensivo. Para quem não sabe, o Anderson ele tá entre os 100 melhores atletas do college inteiro.
Not even 30 seconds after coming in for Ariel Hadar.
Ele tava em número 28. Ele tá tendo uma temporada absurda. Ele tá vendo a partida, enfim, domínio dele. E é isso, fez 1-2 com o cara caído no chão, deu só uma cavada por 14 que veio de trás. Golaço mesmo. E aí vamos voltar para as regras que eu falei várias vezes. Se continuar empatado, 3-3, mesmo sendo temporada regular, vai pro overtime. O overtime é uma prorrogação, é um gol de ouro, 2 tempos de 10 minutos. Se nesses tempos, quem fizer o gol, acaba a partida. Então, é isso. Agora a gente está indo pro overtime com o placar que tá agora. Se alguém fizer gol e ganhar, não vai. Mas, enfim, 3-3, overtime, gol de ouro, fez o gol, acaba. Pode tirar a camisa, ir pra torcida, abraçar as crianças que estão ali atrás, enfim.
Switched off to the opposite side.
What a pass by Schaefer.
And it's knocked out off of Looks like Nick Taylor. Victoria was over there. Ball switched now. Good ball for Mazzaferro. He's into the area now. Sal Mazzaferro plays it back. Here's JT Copper. He plays a ball looking back post. It's a good one. Headed down by Anderson Rosa. It's Victoria now with it. He loses the ball, and here comes the Knights.
Can they switch it?
Played through instead. Almost came down to Luca Dorado.
Great take by Copper.
Copper played back here. Laval.
E com a assistência também do Anderson, mandar um alô aí para todo mundo, família dele que estiver assistindo, pessoal de Salvador. E lembrar também agora que tem mais gente, pode ter saído, entrado, de deixar o like aqui para ajudar a impulsionar mais pessoas a assistirem. Apertar o like aqui embaixo. E um abraço para Salvador, da família do Anderson.
Yep. And now this Knights team have sort of run out of steam with that last press.
And because of that, we'll have one more substitution as Lucas Mora will come in. It'll be too late, though, as here's Shion Soga into the box and out of play.
Well, Shion Soga just couldn't get around that ball. Looks like Lucas Mora, like you said, coming in.
Olha, mais um brasileiro entrando. O Henrique tá jogando ainda na USF e agora entrou o Lucas Mauro, de São Paulo, brasileiro também. Vai jogar lá na ponta esquerda junto com o Anderson.
Clock continues to run as Nick Taylor comes off. Taylor will have a quick breather depending on how this game finishes out. Probably see him in overtime. It's quickly restarted. Edrach. Learmon. He'll just go for the long ball. Schaefer is there, heads it down. Laval now with it. Gets a bit tangled up with Mauricio Villalobos.
Mauricio Villalobos, I think, has 3 lungs.
He is everywhere all the time, it seems. Copper has fallen down. Plays it back now for Laval. Oh, good pressure here from Dorado. As Villalobos, great, even better job by Shion Soga. And that's going to be a foul on Luca Dorado.
Brilliant play by Soga. What a tackle on Villalobos. Look at this. Villalobos has the possession. And the sliding tackle and hooks the ball and keeps possession. Brilliant by the young attacking midfielder.
Again, Bob Uthorn has praised Soga's quality on the ball, his tactics and understanding, getting so much better over time. He is technically a true freshman. This is his first year playing collegiate soccer. Definitely a player to watch out for in the future, but in the meantime, the game still continues. 1:30 left to go. It's a half chance there for USF. Certainly looking like this one will need an extra frame to decide who will win the war on I-4.
Look at the press by the Bulls. They have 4 or 5 guys in the second third of the field, trying to make sure the Knights do not get their passing rhythm as they maneuver the ball.
Played through for Dorado.
And it worked perfectly.
Bit of pressure. Schaefer's just going to boot it down. Frankie is battling with Copper, and Copper will lose the battle. Soranellos is with it. Arcangeli now. Swung out wide. Here's Lucas Moro. Pressure coming down. Moro to the end line. Tries to get the cross in. It falls for Arcangeli. Arcangeli now looking for something to do with it. He plays it back. It's up in the box. It's in the air. Villalobos was there, and it's out of play. 30 seconds to go, and Takase is trying to hold the ball so they can't get the corner off.
Wow.
20 seconds to go. This will be the last kick of the regulation.
We can't even see out of the booth because fans are standing up.
Here is Gino Vivi into the box, headed up. Rosa from distance is off. And that will do it for regulation. UCF has come back from a 3-1 deficit to tie it.
Galera, vamos pro overtime, só para explicar também essa correria, porque é isso, o relógio acaba no 0, apita e acabou. Então o goleiro tentou dar uma segurada ali, escanteio não para o relógio, é só quando tem falta, é como eu expliquei, 2 tempos de 10 minutos agora overtime, não tem intervalo, é só uma troca de lado ali, beber água, eles não descem pro vestiário e já vai começar. Então é isso agora, fez o gol, acabou.
We'll go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We'll come back for overtime between UCF and USF. Stay tuned.
Muitos jogos que eu transmito acabam indo pro overtime. E são 2 tempos de 10 minutos, então não vai demorar tanto ainda. Então, galera que tá aí querendo ver jogo do Flamengo pode continuar assistindo, porque aqui vai acabar antes do jogo do Flamengo também. Vamos seguir na torcida. Enfim, o UCF acabou o segundo tempo pressionando, enfim, estava naquele momento, mas agora no overtime tende a zerar, 2 equipes cansadas também, a gente está entrando ali no final de temporada, vamos ver como que vai ficar. Vou deixar rodando aqui os intervalos sem o áudio para não ter problema, como eu falei. Quando tiver melhores momentos, quando voltar, eu solto o áudio normal. Lembrando também de dar o like aí na transmissão, família do Anderson, família do Luca, que deve estar assistindo. Manda um abraço aí para todo mundo e já já a gente volta de novo.
One question. Where are the countries going? Oh my goodness me! Simply out of this world!
Back here at the UCF Track and Soccer Complex, as we have a good one on our hands. Overtime will be the one to decide the war on I-4, as UCF came from a 3-1 deficit to tie it 3-3. Gianluca Arcangeli's header pulling UCF back from the brink. Mauricio Villalobos had the second. Let's take a look at those right now.
Well, Knights got momentum and it's found the work on the left-hand side. Nick Taylor with the cross, and it falls for this man, Mauricio Villalobos, the captain, using his composure, and what a finish on the left foot. Right now, this Bulls team were pegged so far back, they couldn't even get out of their own half, and here it comes down the left side again. Anderson Rosa, Brazil to Brazil, and Arcangeli with a great finish from a great cross. And all of a sudden, this game is tied at 3.
Well, it certainly will be an interesting one to end this one. A reminder for what it takes to win in overtime in collegiate soccer: a goal. The first person to score wins the game. The game is over. It's a golden goal situation. If neither teams have scored in the 2 10-minute overtime periods, it will end in a draw. Well, we will see how UCF plays this one out, as it looks like Arcangeli, Lucas Moro, they will remain in the game. We'll have a coin flip between the 2 captains. So you just saw the rules for overtime pop up on your screen. And you see Bob Buthorn probably already stressed out from the season that he has had, and now having to deal with an overtime game here in Central Florida.
You know, I kind of feel for him. He put out an amazing game plan. His players played out of their you-know-what, and they had this score at 3-1. The Knights pushed everything forward, threw caution to the wind, got that goal, the 3-2, the Villalobos goal, And that was it. There was too much momentum to stop after that.
Well, we will see how it plays out. UCF will kick things off. All the fans in attendance definitely getting their money's worth.
Just looking at the formation here, another 4-2-4 formation for the Knights. And looks like they're going to continue to press as high as they could to try to get this goal in this very first half.
And we are underway. 10 minutes in the first overtime period to decide if anyone can score. If not, we'll do it again. And after that, it's all over. And just as a reminder, last year, or shall I say the 2020-2021 season that was played in the spring, the last time these two teams went to overtime, UCF scored thanks to Yoni Sorokin in the 102nd minute. Gianluca Arcangeli has done a nice job turning. Now Anderson Rosa pulls it back, sends the defender flying, looks back post. Villalobos is there and can't keep it in play.
Well, Anderson Rosa sending the defender on a wrong address. He invited him out to the party. He changed his mind. The defender didn't hear the message, but his cross just could not find Villalobos at the last post.
Ball is booted downfield. Back with it is Copper.
Gonna have the Knights now. They bring every player behind the ball.
Threaded through. Taken down by Rossano and one back by Lucas Moro. He'll play it back now for Beto Idrach. Moro pinned back a little bit. Rossano wins it back. Shion Soga now underneath it, and he wins it back for the Bulls. A little ball over top and cleared downfield by Beto Idrach. That one takes a touch off of Lucas Dorado, and it will be a throw coming for Baptista. Going back by Lucas Moro, at least for half a minute.
Oh, beautiful. Man from Atletico Madrid, Laval, with a beautiful pullback in the middle of the field.
Switched it, now it's turned over. UCF have the run out. Gino Vivi taken down from behind, and Shion Soga gets away with it cleanly. Now back the other way, come the Bulls. Villalobos pressuring. Here's Copper. Now Soga, top of the 18. Plays it up top now. Freira is back in. Freira! Shot is saved by Levine.
Oh, great effort again by Freira. He has done nothing wrong this game so far. Look at him, just find a little bit of daylight, has his shot, with straight to Levine.
Here's Beto Idrach now. Played through for Rosa, is cut into the midfield. He switches over top for Vivi. Villalobos is running underneath him. He'll play it for Mao. Mao into the box. Mao still with it. Mao's shot is saved by Kazuna Takase.
It is a big switch by the Knights that creates that chance. Anderson Rosa all the way across to Vivi. And look at Villalobos on his weaker left foot. Couldn't get the power off. And good save by Tasake.
Kazuna Takase has been tremendous thus far. Despite the 3 goals conceded, he has kept his team in the game, especially very early on. Now Levine has also had some very important saves. They have to make another one here. Is driving in is Copper, just over top.
Well, the shot on the run is never easy, and Copper saw the Red Sea part in front of him. Look at the players not sticking a foot, not tackling. And Copper, seeing that 18-yard line, had a shot. He had every right to. Coach Calabrese sticking with that 4-2-4, an aggressive game plan. Let's see if it pays off.
Idrach just plays it right out of play. A bit of frustration from him. He tried to clear it downfield. Laval plays it back now for Kaplan. Baptista just waiting on the right side for the ball. Instead, it gets it off for Laval. Here's Galena. Soga plays it back now for Copper. Swings over top. Mazzaferro's going to get to it. Actually, it's going to be Gino Vivi. Now back with Copper. Copper with some good pressure. Here's Soga, top of the 18! Xion Soga has won it for USF with a beauty of a strike.
Well, it just had to be Soga, hadn't it? He's been playing great all second half, and look at him celebrate, and he should. What a strike by the young attacking midfielder. Gino Vivi, a forward in a defender's position, gets pushed all the way to the byline and hooks it back. They get pickpocketed, and Soga on top of the box does the rest.
And you got to say, USF has been dominant in this overtime period. They came back out, really pushing UCF. And unfortunately, Gino Vivi just got caught in no man's land. Copper was there, played it right to the top, and Xion Soga, too much space and time to shoot. And the young attacking midfielder wins it for the Bulls on the
acabou
road.
que outro atleta internacional decidiu o jogo, o japonês ali da
What a moment for
USF.
this Bulls team.
E aquilo, fez o gol, acabou, já tirou a camisa agora, enfim, não toma mais amarelo. Jogaço da USF contra a UCF.
Well,
Como
that'll
eu
do it
falei,
here for
a
tonight.
UCF já estava em
With
primeiro
this
lugar
result, it
da
makes
conferência.
SMU
A USF
UCF
está
on
tentando entrar entre
Sunday
os 4
an
que
even more
classificam,
important
porque
one for the
depois tem
Knights
semifinal e
as they
final.
will try and get their
E
win
é isso, deixar agora o
to keep
final da
themselves in
transmissão,
first position
jogaço
in the
de primeira.
conference
Quem chegou no
standings.
final,
But until
recomendo ver
then,
o
thank you
primeiro
to our
tempo
production
também,
crew.
porque
Thanks to
foi muito
Ryan
bom.
Davis. I am Austin
E
David.
é isso,
Thank
mandar
you
abraço
to all
para
of you for
Salvador,
joining
para
us
São
here
Paulo,
tonight.
família
USF,
do
big
Luca,
winners
do
over
Anderson,
UCF
do
here
Lucas
in Orlando.
Mauro, do Rainer. E também, galera, o narrador falou, o que fez o gol de empate, o número 14, ele também é brasileiro. É o Gianluca, ele estava machucado, eu acho, na temporada passada, estava red shirt, então não conhecia ele, mas é isso, teve gol de brasileiro sim, o número 14 também era brasileiro, então 5 brasileiros na UCF. Boa noite para todo mundo aí, valeu, lembra de dar o like, inscrever no canal também para ajudar a gente. Agora podem ir assistir jogo do Flamengo, torcer, passar raiva talvez, vamos ver como que vai ser. Boa noite aí para todo mundo, um abraço e até mais.